The company Heavenly Warriors is the biggest association of martial arts in this world. Possessing serious authority in the field of wushu, it attracts the close attention of most people. The company of Heavenly Warriors hides a lot of extraordinary martial arts and no one unknown techniques. However, despite the whole mystery of this center of martial arts, for ordinary people, it is just the opportunity to earn on their own. Nowadays, quite difficult for the possibility of working in this area. This huge stone palace for fist battles is really the best place for professional activities. They don't ask here where you come from. If only there were abilities, and then there will be a place for you. Here, if you can't become a professional boxer, then you can become sparring, a partner. As you already understood, our main character is sparring a partner in this fighting club, and now he just works with the champion. The main character, despite his fatigue, is already slightly exhausted, but still continues to maintain his concentration and fully fulfills his title. The champion with whom the main character works today is trying to break through his defense, but has legally worked out his attacks. Although this sparring is a partner and not like everyone else, it is pleasant to work with him, the champion thought. Having gathered with the champions on his own, he still produces a series of shocks with his hands, remains on top. His friends who are watching training understand that the champion is very pounding him. Hey Chen, hold on, 20 seconds remain before the end of the round. Contactly holds on with all his might, since he is a sparring partner not just amateurs but with professionals. No wonder that it was Chen. Put me in his place. I would have been lying a long time ago, his comrade who watched the fight said. If Chen were like you, it would definitely not be sparring a champion partner. And you can't say that he has a level D. I know that Chen, and in conjunction with a level of level C, may well survive another athlete added. The insidious coach long ago watched the progress of this guy. He was like a bone in his throat. He developed a plan to get rid of him as soon as possible. The champion inflicted a series of strong blows. He threshed him like a fan with his fists. But Chen continued to hold a blow. For a moment, the bell's blow rang. The battle duel is over. Partners can disperse in their corners. Hey, it's a pity time has passed. Something the last few blows did not work very much, the champion said. The last few beats were too hasty. Because of this, there may be adverse consequences. You should pay attention to this. He added Chen. So that's the matter. Finally, I understood where the mistake is. It is not for nothing that this guy is a sparring partner at the champion. The guys moved to the locker room and trying to restore the graded fists and fingers, which noticed that that champion was beating very much. And in boxing without injuries, there is no one to blame here. Unless only yourself. What is inattentive? Chen said. Brother, tell me where you are the adhesive plaster. I'll go. Look in the locker number 12. I remember injured last month I left one there. Yeah, as if there is a patch. You have a good memory. If you had not abandoned your studies, you would have received 100% in the university. But it would not be necessary to work for an uncle with a sparring partner. He looked in surprise. Su Chen was clearly concerned about something. And what did I say wrong again? It is a pity that health does not allow me, otherwise it would also become a boxer. And if a boxer, then the team captain is not so long to become so long that in general it also allows you to raise money well. By the way, not a bit shines for me by the captain, Su Chen answered. The vile coach was behind the door all this time and tried to eavesdrop on something. If you were for a long time, I would have become a captain for a long time. This is certainly not a fat man of Van, who turns out everything through the ass. The comrade carefully helped to stick a patch. They remembered the fat man Wang and the fact that he was injured. All protective equipment for sparring partner would be available, if not for the injury of this fat man. I think he will not be a captain for long, the guys continued to discuss. I heard all this from the corridor. When the training on the street ended a long time ago later. The street lit up with colorful lights, life continued to boil. After training as usual, he went to the pharmacy, he granted the medicines again, the seller asked. I wish your sister to be cured quickly, the seller answered politely. Thank you very much for the kind words, Chen added. Late in the evening returned home. The younger sister was waiting for him at home. She immediately heard as soon as the door opened. The sister was alone at home all day and really missed him. She was delighted with his return and immediately jumped into his arms. What are you? She said you can't jump. I am very bored at home alone. Yeah, you brought products. Brother, rest. Today I will cook dinner, she added. He squeezed the door with his small room with a creak, and barely moving his legs went. Exhausted during training, there was no strength left to change clothes. He went into his room on the autopilot and collapsed exhausted onto the bed. And only falling slaps broke the silence. For a moment, the quiet sniffing of his strong sleep was already diverging around the room. It is already incomprehensible here. He fell asleep after he personally managed to pill, or he was sleeping when he went into the room. If you plunge a little into the past, then a lot will become clear. A young girl was returning a cold winter day. Her child was still very small. She carried him in her arms. But how was her surprise when she heard next to the wolf of another child? How harshly take and throw a child here in the middle of the street. It did not look like someone accidentally left him. Despite the fact that she already has her own child, she decided to help him without hesitation. She took this child and went home. Surprised neighbors could not understand where they came from a second child. Look, is it not that bad girl from home opposite? Where did she get another child? Have you seen how my father drove her out of the house? Who knows where she got this child? The neighbors continued to discuss. Oh, this lecher who flew before the wedding. Probably again a man somewhere picked up. The neighbors continued to grumble. I don't care what people say, a young girl thought. I will grow you and put you on my feet. I will make you a worthy person, she added. My joy has returned from school. Little Chen tried to catch up with his sister Ling. She joyfully carried his examination sheet. Baby, you have poor health, but you don't have to run as much as Skull did, my mother noticed with care. Mom, look at the brother's examination sheet. He scored the maximum number of points, the sister said joyfully. A little embarrassed by this, Chen grabbed his sheet. Lin, it was not necessary to show him. He was indignant. In general, you need to talk about this on every corner. And I never could score a maximum of points. She was indignant. Oh, who would say? You don't want to take an example from your brother at all, Mom politely added. The kids who study so well in the future will definitely become an outstanding person, and no one will look down on him, my mother proudly said. I will try, the baby answered with joy. And then he opened his eyes. What was it? Was it a dream or memories, he thought. Lying in his bed, he still realized that it was a dream. It only became sad from this. The kitchen came with delicious aromas and the sound of cooking. Brother, have you already woken up? Ling asked. Wait a little, okay? The food is almost ready. He smelled a delicious aroma and immediately stood up, Chen answered. Chen slowly picked up pieces of food and enjoyed her taste. Well, how? What do you think? Are you very tasty? She was interested. It is incredibly tasty. Your dishes are very similar to our mother's dish. Although I do not know the reason, sometimes someone's voice is heard in my head. And it is thanks to his help that I have such good success in my studies, Chen shared. Honestly, only in order to ensure that my mother is not worried, I hide something from her. With sadness in his eyes, Chen thought. With the help of this voice, the devil knows him. Maybe I really can pass entrance exams to good university, and I can pull our family out of poverty. But first it would be necessary to find a way to cure Link. So politely he called his sister. Going to the gym, his main idea was about making as much money as possible to cure his sister. And this thought did not give him peace and forced him to move on. He said goodbye to his sister and went again about his business. A little more and he was already in the gym. The guys and his friends discussed success in training. Great brother Chen. Hello everyone, Chen calmly answered. He has already seen many guys hundreds of times. Some of them only appeared. While Chen opened his box in the storage chamber, his acquaintance approached him. You here, Chen. Today you are careful. Some are not glad to see you here. Your nickname Golden Pear played a cruel joke with you. Be careful with this coach whose name is Wang Tingwei, his comrade added. For a moment, I heard someone's steps that were approaching him. You are our main force in the second group. The partner of the gold medalist is the Golden Pear. Brand, here we need to help. Those who themselves choose boxers are afraid that they are injured. But you have a champion's partner. I hope you are not afraid to get hurt, the vile coach asked. If so, go to the fourth ring. Come on soon. What? On the damn fourth ring? Su Chen asked in surprise. In the fourth ring at that moment, a mad dog trained. This is a champion that was known for his bad fame. Did he cripple John Xiaowell last month? Why was he brought to the ring again? Yes, and he is a boxer of the weight category C, and he is put on category D sparring partner. What kind of affairs? Chen asked. They specifically searched for you. Other sparring partners do not suit them. I had no other choice but to agree. The coach answered meanly. Hey there, when will we start sparring? Do you want my brother to die of boredom? Another champion asked. Iron Wolf, be calm. This little girl was not just dubbed Golden Pear. From every dozen boxers that ate, 9 trained with him greatly increased their indicators. Really, bro, it will be useful for you to work with him in pairs, added a vile coach. Go. In the middle of the month, I will help you with receiving a bonus. I will try to agree to be increased at least twice, the coach promised. Well, we strictly fulfill the rules of training combat. It is not allowed to attack the torso and throat. The tired sparring partner may demand to stop the battle. Chen said calmly. Yes, of course. There, here, so many people are looking. Everything will be fine, added the coach. Su Chen prepared his defense. He checked it every time before training. I corrected it again, and I thought that it was time to start. We had to withstand only 30 minutes. Are you the same champion pair? They say that the level is very good. Few people manage to make you look for the fifth corner. It was very interested in it, added a frantic dog. This rogue was clearly not looking for sparring partners for fun, but in order to assert himself at the expense of the famous golden pair. Certainly not just to increase your boxing skill. There was a gong and sparring began. Instantly, a strong blow from a frantic dog. Is this the level of category C? From the first blow, a hand was numb. The training went into real sparring. Chen had to very deftly dodge a series of quick strokes. As soon as he dodged a series of hit with his hand, he immediately followed a prohibited blow with his foot directly into the body. What was it? From a strong blow, he barely kept himself on his feet. Is he serious? Did he go crazy? Chen thought. Category C boxer compared to Category D boxer is not 1.5 stars difference. Half an hour and so, in full force, 300 kilograms blows, and you are provided with internal hemorrhage. Champion sparring partner, you say? Do you also want to take my place? Sparring partner has no right to beat in response, family added a coach. I'll see how you get out of here alive, after such an intense training. Stop! Cried Su Chen. He was completely exhausted and tried to restore his breath. Su Chen shouted, Stop, Captain! He shouted, Stop! The guys who followed the fight were repeated. What can there be stop? We have just started. Suji, we have a golden pair. Are there any boxers whom he cannot withstand? Isn't it visible? My brother only knocked more hard, that's all. Nothing, let him rest a little, and okay. If you can't endure the blows, what kind of sparring partner? You added an iron wolf with a grin. The tournament continued with renewed vigor. The furious dog attacked very sharply and aggressively. I continue to apply strong blows. Let me remind you, the feature of the sparring partner is that he cannot strike in response. He can only dodge the blows. Damn, the difference in strength is too great. With every blow, Su Chen felt this. Ha ha, only one stretch. And this little one will be no, the coach joyfully remarked. Let me remind you, the stretch is a direct blow from which it is quite difficult to close. Very dangerous. This can be withstanded only by skill, honed with daily training. More recently, the frantic dog ring. He graduated from the battle with his defeat. Not only did I fail in the ring, and if today I can't put this bitch yet, with all the anger, a mad dog thought, thanks to his skill, which continued to hold the blows, and a constant attack in this sparring. But still, he missed some blows. They came like a lightning blow. There was nothing to do very vilely. He attacked him with a strong blow of his leg. As a result of this heavy blow, Chen flew into the corner of the ring. Blood sprinkled from his mouth, which said with weight that he violated the rules. The frantic dog craves only a place. He had to recoup on this boy for his defeat. Die! A frantic dog said through his teeth. Lightning attacks flew one after another. Since the frantic dog was a completely different weight category, I had much more experience. But Chen was rather agile and deftly dodged his attacks. Combination? If I miss at least one blow, I will end, Chen thought. The frantic dog felt his superiority in this battle. He continued to attack his sparring partner of a series of strong blows. I do not believe that this time I won't get you. He quickly thought a frantic dog. Chen moved very quickly, and strong blows continued to cling to him in different places. He felt that his eyes were clouding, and he saw how the enemy's silhouette moves on him. I did not think that I was doomed to death today. Your life is in danger. Presumably in 0.5 seconds, your skull will be broken. What is this voice? Chen thought in surprise. This instant, a series of very strong blows followed. If I miss at least one blow, then I will definitely die, Chen thought with fear. Survive, survive, survive. Only this thought was spinning in his head. Counter cross, 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 counter blow through the opponent's hand. I don't want to die yet, Chen firmly decided. At that moment, Chen struck a response directly into the throat of a frantic dog. As expected, from such a blow, a frantic dog immediately fell into the ring. What did you study? Too fast, I did not see. They became interested in the viewer. Chen barely stood on his feet. He staggering and hardly rearranging his legs, he reached the ropes and grabbed them so as not to fall. Chen! Chen, are you okay? His comrade jumped out into the ring and grabbed him so that he would not fall. Well, and a convenient case to punish him, the vile coach said. Su Chen, did you allow yourself to attack a boxer? This is a violation. I must annul your license of sparring partner, the coach said. Fatty Van, what are you blind? The same frantic dog applied the forbidden technique, a little more, and Chen not to live. How was it not to give a oncoming blow? Chen began to come to life a little. What happened? Did I kill a man? He asked. It is not clear what happened to a frantic dog. Chen is seriously injured, and if the Iron Wolf decides to take revenge, then he is the end. The guys looked at each other and accurately decided that it was necessary to inform the highest leadership of the club as soon as possible. Chen, you are resting for now, and we will call the doctor. And you need to call someone from the leadership of the club as soon as possible. If the sparring partner hit the boxer, this is a serious matter. Chen must be saved. The more we will give the public the case, the better. The Iron Wolf broke into the ring and could not believe that his brother was lying without movement. Su Chen, what have you done? The Iron Wolf screamed violently. You failed my brother and want to escape? You will pay your life for it, the Iron Wolf continued to scream. Hey, for a long time I wanted to compete with the boxer of the Yu you're in. Do you want to touch Chen? First you can handle me, and then we'll see. At that moment, the club leadership went down to the hall with a doctor. The leader of the club was not himself accompanied by the guards. What happened here? The leader of the club asked. Together with him was his assistant. She was a doctor in this club. As soon as the club management went into the hall, they immediately asked what happened here. Director Paul, Su Chen violated the rules. He hit a boxer. But that he, being a sparring partner, allowed himself to raise his hand to the boxer. He must be strictly punished, so that there would be no longer even more so. The fat man, Van said. The frantic dog hid the weapon, wanted to kill me. I only applied the necessary defense. Chen added his excuse. You look, Chen has both hands beaten to blood. Is it a box? There was a real meat grinder. If the frantic dog in the competition comes out, then this is honestly the loss of the face of our club, added one of the friends who watched the fight. Check bodily harm and be sure to extract video from surveillance cameras. The club director said. Allow me to look at the boxer, the girl added. Despite her fragile physique and beautiful outlines, she was a doctor of high qualifications. I hope sterile gloves. She began the inspection very carefully, so as not to miss a single details, as this may affect the reputation of the entire club. I remember her. This is the beauty Shen Yu, the doctor of our martial arts palace. I hope she will not inspect any strange places, Chen thought. She examined the respiratory tract and immediately noticed that the blow to the throat was inflicted on the edge of the palm. If he could not send him to intensive care, he could die. Rather, call an ambulance, she said strictly. The guys loaded on a boxer on a stretcher and carefully carried it to the exit to quickly send him to intensive care. Chen began to slowly recall how he made this only blow that instantly stopped the fury of a frantic dog. Being in the dispatching Chan, I carefully examined the video from the surveillance cameras and saw how it happened. All clear. The boxer violated the rules by hiding the weapon and went to the ring and knocked down a man. During the defense, the sparring partner drove the boxer into shock, which in the worst case leads to death, better to paralysis. However, the frantic dog fell into rabies during the battle. Use prohibited substances? The doctor asked. This is definitely a fat man, Van. It was he who set up the battle, and the forbidden drug, of course. He also slipped, added one of Chen's friends. Do not slander. Could I create this? The coach tried to justify himself. What the hell is Chen, the sparring partner of the level, put on battle with the boxer of category C? Added a friend. And in his words, it makes sense. Another guy who watched the fight quickly noticed. But the fat man Van himself said that it would be just a training. Really? These are blood pills, ADH1? This prohibited substance is a potent doping. The fat man gave you a frantic dog this medicine. We completely crazy with their connections. All this was set up by the captain. It's not me. I did not do it. This is slander. The doctor watched how the fat man Van tried to take off his responsibility. If the frantic dog took the forbidden drug, then I think Su Chen would now lay. Dr. Shen Yu. The fat man of Van, along with the Iron Wolf, suspected that they could be accused of violating the rules. Thank you very much, Captain Van, for a good deed in saving my life, Chen answered sarcastically. Coach Van, to appoint you the captain of the team of sparring partner was definitely a mistake, the club director said. The frantic dog was the first to violate the rules. Su Chen came beyond the framework of preserving his life. According to the rules of our martial arts palace, heavenly warriors, fists and legs have no eyes if you went to the ring that at any moment you can lose your life, added by the director. And who is afraid of death is not a place in the palace of martial arts, heavenly warriors, the director answered sternly. But there is another point. Boxers are the property of the club, Shang Wai confidently answered. You, a partner for training, paralyzed the boxer with your blow, and should be responsible for this, the director said. It begins from today. It is you who will replace a frantic dog in the ring, the director answered sternly. True, right. My brother agreed with the club for 15 competitions, and you will replace it. Everything is right, an Iron Wolf added with an evil smile. This cannot be done. Chen is just a sparring partner, and Category D to him is not affordable. And sending level C to competitions is not the same as sending him to certain death? His friends were indignant. Why not? He flooded my brother, which means that the level of C is quite suitable for battles. He added an Iron Wolf. Since I have to fight, then I will fight instead, the friend of Chen shouted. The club director. He listened carefully and thought. Will you fight for him? Well, this is also an option. But the man he injured, he must be responsible. Strictly added by the director of the club. Therefore, you can only perform in 10 competitions. The remaining 5 will have to fight himself. It seems to me that it will be more fair. Added by the director. How to heal the wounds. Immediately come to sign a contract. The club turned to Chen. Chen accompanied the outgoing director of the club. He understood that something was not smooth here, but the choice was already made. He only noticed that one single word was written on the t-shirt of the club director. Death. The corridors of the sports club became completely empty. A friend supported Chen and helped him get to the first aid post. Chen was completely defeated and was exhausted. He was very fraught with this sparring. He thanked his friend for his support. Chernish, you should not have intervened in our conversation. I traumed the person, which means that I should be responsible. Chen said. Chen, you don't worry about me. Think about 10 competitions more, I can stand it, reassured his black. Yes, and you never know what can happen to you. Who will take care of your sister Linka? Added Chernish. Says the truth. Forgive me for drawing you into this trouble. Hey, who are we to each other? If not for you, it was unlikely that now I would have such a technique. After a short time, the guys still reached the first aid post. Chen went into the office and immediately noticed the beauty Shen Yu. Did you finally come? The doctor asked. She sat in her chair. The robe was unfastened, and one could see a beautiful young body, long legs and beautiful chest, which was under a white t-shirt. Sit down where you want. She answered strictly. I took out a box with medicines, and the examination of the wounds and damage to Chen began. Have you specially helped me? Why? Chen asked when the doctor made him a dressing of RAS. Probably because I'm kind. I could not resist looking like you. An idiot. Deceived. Not only did he get into it, and even pulled a friend, so she helped a little. Shang Yu. What do you mean? How did I deceive me? Chen asked. Continuing to apply elastic bandages to beaten into fists, the doctor tried to explain what mistake Chen made. The main thing is that the frantic dog had the intent to kill, and on your part, there was a forced defense. According to the rules of the club, Heavenly Warriors, you just need to pay money and just business. The main guilt was to be accepted by Coach Van, answered Shen Yu. Suppose I have no money? What then? Chen asked. Such cases must be completely solved through the trial, and you two have a lot of hurry. Do you really think that you can withstand 5 competitions? In surprise, Dr. Shen Yu. Damn, after that last blow in the brain, everything mixed up, of course. I did not think about it. You want to say that I took black in these unfair competitions? Chen asked. Sneaky Paul has long been watching him, said Shen Yu. Chen slowly began to clarify the situation. Well, business. Therefore, from the very beginning he looked for the skill of Chernish. And I used me only as an excuse to tie with a promise? No wonder the floor at first looked at the fight of the Iron Wolf and Chernish so carefully. Look, you are not a fool if you could figure it out so quickly, surprised Shen Yu. In any case, a frantic dog is a person of sex, and the fact that he wanted to deal with you is also true. If these days you have no progress, I'm afraid you will not even leave the 3rd competition, making it right in the ring. What, in the end, this doctor has an intention, Chen thought, since she helps him so. Looking at the watch, the doctor said that the end of the shift was to go home. She said goodbye to him and told him to be careful. In parting, she quietly handed him a note so that he could read it after they leave. Is this a note? But when Dr. Shen gave it to me, I did not even notice. He turned the note. He saw what was written in it. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning, 18th floor. The gallery Clear Moon. He took a contract with him and went to the meeting at which the doctor invited him. Even walking along the street, he continued to study each clause of this contract. I can add for myself that the Palace of Martial Arts of Heavenly Warriors is written on the sheet. An agreement on participation in competitions. But you will have to participate in competitions, putting on my life. Chen thought along the way towards. However, he was able to earn something. He checked his wallet and remembered something about something. It was necessary to buy medicines for his sister. He decided to go to the pharmacy on the way back. Passing by the nondescript streets, he heard a scream for help. To the aid, save, help! the female voice shouted. "Let me go! Save!" the girl screamed in tears. One of the hooligans tried to close her mouth to muffle her screams. Two hooligans attacked a defenseless girl and tried to rob her or do something else worse. But she was not at a loss, and the villain bit her finger to somehow free your mouth. For this, the second robber immediately hit her in the face. "Well, come on in a good way, and then we will post your naked pictures on the internet." Threatening the robber spoke with a knife. "Ha ha ha! You can even yell at least the whole voice. No one will save you." "Take your dirty hands from her." What ran to the girl's cries and decided to help her. Chen went into the gateway, saw two robbers. One of them continued to hold the girls, and the second, threatening with a knife, headed for him. "Do not go into your business." "Well, wretched, I'm afraid that there is nothing to take from you," one robber said. The second robber began to break the dress right on the girl in the middle of the street. "What are you doing? Completely broke?" Chen shouted and rushed to save the girl. "Then let's talk differently. If you do not understand the words, we will use other communication methods." One robber flew away from the blow with his foot and fell on his back, and now he shouted in pain and called for help. You have a moment there, then the second robber grabbed the knife and was about to attack him. "Oh, you jerk, I'll finish you now!" the robber shouted, waving his knife. Chen's reaction was excellent. He easily dodged the attack and blocked his hand with a knife. Another moment and he raised. The second robber also fell to the ground, and only dust began to rise into the air. "Oh, my rib, and it seems not one. You arranged a fight and inflicted me you've. Drive compensation." Through the pain began to demand a robber. "The girl, next time go along the big streets where there are a lot of people," Chen said. "These little lanes are unsafe. Here it is full of tramps and robbers." Chen raised his jacket and handed it to the girl so that she could cover her torn dress. In gratitude, she rushed into his arms. "Thanks a lot. If not for you, then I don't even know that they would do with me," she added. "Miss, you are too close," Chen answered modestly, feeling the girl pressed against him. "Danger!" At that moment, his inner voice informed him of an approaching danger. What looked at the girl in surprise, and saw how she grabbed a knife from a holster attached on her leg. "Are they all one gang?" Chen thought. So for a moment she waved a knife to strike him. What was instantly grouped, and pushed the girl with his elbow. The impudent girl clearly did not expect this. If for a member it was a light push, then for the girl it was a strong blow, and she flew back. Because of such a push, she dropped a knife that fell on a stone sidewalk with a ringing. Devil! How did he calculate us? He hits very much. Rather run from here. The robbers screamed and scattered in different directions. "Hey you, wait for me!" The girl tried to hide as quickly as possible. Their insidious plan failed. Again, this voice saved me. I don't understand what kind of voice it is. He tried to figure it out, Chen. On the street, it was already completely dark and the city lit up with nightlights. Chen went to the pharmacy. "Hi, Sue. The medicine for a sister has come again?" the seller asked. "Today I earned more money now. I would like to buy your medicine more expensive. I hope it will definitely help. How about this 20-year-old ginseng root? If good, then I will give you at the cheapest price. Ginseng is a very good remedy, but it is not very profitable for me to sell it to me. As if I don't know the situation at your place? Take it. I would really like to see your sister, healthy and fun," the seller insisted. "You still buy a couple of kilograms of ribs to make the broth. It will definitely help." "Do not let her strain," the seller added. "Fine. Thank you very much. Thanks to your medicines, my sister will run soon," Jean thanked. Returning home, Chen passed through a small square. "Where did you hide? Are you here?" "No need to squeak like a mouse. You are a cat," Chen answered politely. He remembered about her, so he periodically brought her to eat. She looked at him with big, beautiful eyes. "And you eat a lot. What are you not growing? You have been living in this park for 2 months. Since there really is nowhere to go, let's take you at least to my house. I look at you lonely. I immediately remember myself in the past. That's what, as Chernish helped me, so I will help you," Chen said, looking into her beautiful eyes. Is not good. I need to fight in competitions with a risk to life, so it is unlikely that I can help you. However, you are such a strange and bizarre consciousness, you probably can live without me." He said what, and was about to leave. Suddenly, a cat grabbed his leg, as if she wanted to stop him or show something. "Do you want me to follow you?" he asked. This cat seems to understand the human language. So strange she reacts to my words. An unusual cat led him through the forest and brought him to a small clearing, where in the rays of the moonlight, an unusual flower is growth. The fruits of this flower seem to be in a small cage. The cat went to the flower and broke this fruit. "Do I really need to eat it?" Chen was surprised. "Can this wild fruit be eaten?" continued then to ask the cat. "Yes, I was not mistaken," he really asked the cat. A cat politely nodded her head, as if she understood all the words what he spoke. The member agreed to eat him, took it in his hand and put it in his mouth, began to chew slowly. Another moment, and he completely swallowed him. Surprisingly, the fruit of this plant tasted. Wow, what is it? Chen clearly did not expect such an action from one fruit. The flow of energy fills my whole body, and all previously forgotten events are remembered. Chen first encountered such an unusual feeling. Wow, this is the village. Chen has not experienced such a rush for a long time. Oh, what is this? He felt the color of his pupils change to bright yellow. Nothing tasty. He heard an inner voice, if it can be called an inner voice that communicates with him so much. It was the same as with a frantic dog. The same voice that in a moment warned him of danger. Use the granted force for the good. Read what this is your kindness, he heard. What does it mean? Who are you? Chen continued to be surprised. The white cat continued and saw how good changes occur in it. Wow, super. Fatigue accumulated during the day took off. I'm already starting to think that this voice will throw many pleasant surprises, Chen said with excitement. When Chen approached the house on the street, he was met by the younger sister. Linka, why did you go out into the street? Chen asked. Have you seen how much time already? Are you aware that you returned home 30 minutes later than usual? She asked. Sorry. The brother today worked more than usual, so he lingered. Look, I specially bought a gift for you for being late and a gift, he added Chen. Is this a 1,000-year-old ginseng root? She asked. This is only a 20-year-old. For the 1,000-year-old I still have not enough money, so I'm sorry. Yes, and this one is very expensive, probably? The babyling asked. No, inexpensive. The main thing is that you are cured, but the rest does not matter, Chen reassured her. Okay, let's go home. It's time to cook dinner. Brother, you are probably very hungry? Passing by the pharmacy, two guys stopped them. Oppa. And this, by chance, is not a foster brother and sister, one of them asked. The impudent girl stooped the medicine from our pharmacy, he said. I did not stop even in front of a 20-year-old ginseng, which is probably 30,000. Not true. This brother bought me. Never, and I have not pulled anything from you, she answered. What else is brother? You want to say that this found is able to buy ginseng? He can hardly pick up on rice. You completely, as your mother has become, steal, and you even lie and do not blush. The guy continued to scream. Chen did not endure these insults. With one blow of his right hand, he stopped this villain. I warn you, you can call me to find ours, but in no case will I allow you to offend my sister and moreover insult my mother, Chen answered. You dared to hit me? He began to whine. At that moment, his father came out of the pharmacy. Su Chen, what are you doing? Did you dare to hit your cousin? A cousin who does not recognize my mother aunt? Why should I recognize such a cousin? Chen answered. I scolded that fallen woman, that's all. And what? She is not your mother. What is the matter, you? He tried to make excuses for the rude. Decided that everything is allowed? Well, repeat! Chen shouted. The guard immediately detain him, screamed by the frightened father. Who dares to touch me? Chen said with confidence, and took out a contract. See properly, he told them to revere a contract. I am the official boxer of the club Heavenly Warriors, and you are accusing me from scratch as if I had stolen your ginseng. Want to beat me? Chen asked sternly. If at least something happens to me, then are you ready to cover the damage to the martial arts palace from costs for these competitions? He asked. Linka, let's go home. Chen calmly answered, I did not go home with my sister. When they came home, Linka noticed one interesting thing. Brother, you are so cool today, she said. You talk less and better drink a decoction of the root. From early childhood you love to talk to yourself, and therefore health is not very... We should correct it, Chen said. Baby Lin continued to drink a medicinal decoction, and at that moment her pendant began to glow. A moment later, the pendant began to glow even brighter, and as if flows of bright energy enveloped him. And then a little girl appeared from the pendant. She was very tiny, but with large and beautiful eyes. Who is that girl? Chen asked. She approached Linka and began to inhale the aroma of her drink. It seems that they and the link divide one space. I noticed what. So it was Linka talked to her and not with herself. In vain I reproached her for this, Chen thought. Is she a ghost? Very similar to Link in childhood. Aye, okay. Lately there are too many strange events, he added Chen. Can I really see her because of the berry that he ate in the forest? He thought. Brother, do you see her? The baby Lin asked with surprise. Her little girlfriend was also very surprised at this. Of course I see her! Wow, it's very cool! The baby Lin was delighted. I wanted to say thank you to my brother. After all, thanks to my brother who contains our family, the older sister and I can live. The girl said a ghost. I am also grateful to you. Thanks for the fact that you are with a Link all the time. I did not expect that I have another little sister, he added Chen. Wow, can I even touch her? He thought. I gently stroked the baby on the head. Hi, how warm. As if I was basking under the sun, she said affectionately. Keep calm. I will try to earn even more money to keep both sisters, he added Chen. I definitely need to get out of 5 fist competitions. It will increase the prize money, Chen thought with confidence. Night's silence completely sank into the city. The streets and small lanes are completely empty. Twisting is knocked out to the asphalt. A beaten coach lay on the ground, or as he was also called, the Fat Man of Van. I cough. He continued to moan and tried to get to his feet. Have mercy, mercy, they set me up. He tried to justify himself. Interesting, but who could beat the coach like that? It turns out it was an iron wolf. I don't give a damn, they set you up or not. My brotherly is injured, is in intensive care, and you are involved in this. My brother lost his position and a good name, and even lies in the hospital in serious condition. He continued, first you will go there, and then I will send this puppy, by the name of Su Chen, after you and my brother. The Iron Wolf continued to speak. All this time he held the coach by the hair. He released his head, and then he immediately tried to crawl to the side. The Iron Wolf immediately noticed this, and took advantage of this distance. The Iron Wolf instantly inflicted a very strong blow with his foot, right in the chest of the coach. He had no chance to stay on his feet. He immediately fell to the ground. He came closer and saw how the coach twisted in pain, continued to grunt and ask for help. Beat it to death, he said to his assistants. The coach continued to ask for help, and so that they stop. But no one listened to him, and several hooligans continued to knock him down. A new day has come, and Chen, as before, was in the gym. He had a clear goal, and he was not going to abandon her. He needed to train to win. Working out his blows on the boxing pair, he began to feel how his impact power increases. The simulator, which shows the power of the blow in kilograms, showed the figure of 408 kilograms. Wow, this is a boxer of category D? Chen was surprised. He continued to train and work out the blows not only with his hands but also his feet. 610 kilograms was already displayed on the scoreboard. Wow, yesterday's red fruit. So well enhanced my power of impact and vigor of the spirit. And then withstand 5 fights. What, brother? We have big problems, Chernish shouted, who had just come to the gym. Do you know who your first rival is? He asked. It will be an Iron Wolf, said Chernish. What? He? This cannot be. Chen was surprised. In fact of the matter, an Iron Wolf is an experienced fighter prepared for competitions in Group B. But the owner of the palace put him against you. A newcomer, what kind of devilry? Chen recalled the words of Dr. Shun Yu. If these days you have no progress, I'm afraid you will not even come out from the 3rd match. He realized that she had betrayed everything. An Iron Wolf entered the gym with his assistants. The Iron Wolf, look, this little one turned so pale with fear, as if he had seen a ghost. You don't scare him off to death. Well, until the tournaments have begun. From the moment he crippled my brother, he is already dead, the Iron Wolf said. What continued to listen to him, but at the same time he observed distance and decency. What is it with us here? Is it a boxing pair? I noticed an Iron Wolf. He swung his foot and hit the nearest boxing pair with great power. Yes, this is 200 kilograms of a bag of sand. Su Chen is definitely doomed to defeat. The boxing pair was torn and sand sprinkled from it. Roundhouse kick is so honed, as if this bag cut off with a knife. It can be seen that he trained hard. Roundhouse cut this circular blow by a turn is usually applied to the head, which allows the use of the strength of flexion of the legs. No wonder that this is an Iron Wolf. Such a silver, smaller, and 500 kilograms will pull. Yes, only one blow will deal with this jerk, an Iron Wolf said with a grin. In the ring, we are measured by martial art, not by force. A frantic dog also had a lot of strength, but as a result, did he not lose the duel? Chernish asked. Then all the tricks of the fat woman is a bath. But he, face to face with me, with his 150 kilograms, can only wait for death, the Iron Wolf said. Ha ha ha, an Iron Wolf. They say that yesterday the fat man van crashed somewhere, so that his paralysis broke his pills, eat pills. Chernish realized that this bastard was noted by the fat man van, and now he was pushed here. Play with muscles. I definitely can't stand the impact of the Iron Wolf, Chen thought. However, the inner voice should already have recorded its technique, and I can look for weaknesses in it. Boar led to the opening before the opponent, so I still have a chance to win. Chen deftly noticed. Chen, what are you crazy? Why are you smiling? Chernish asked. It is better to reflect on how you will resist an Iron Wolf. Otherwise, after all, it's not even an hour how it will win you. Let's better help you run away, added Chernish. Run away? The power of the company. Heavenly Warriors has spread to the whole world. Where do you offer me to run? Chen asked. I am a boxer, having subscribed to a contract of life and death, and must safely accept the battle. Chen answered firmly. You and I are self-taught. We do not defeat trained boxers such as an Iron Wolf. Yesterday he fought with me in full strength. To tell the truth, and I am not his opponent, but what to talk about you? And said Chernish. Nothing. You just need to study diligently and train as much as possible. And then we will make up the difference. Chen reassured him. For 25 fights you will get even more than me. I have agreed with one person here. You still continue to train. I'll be back soon, Chen said. Some kind of very mysterious Shen Yu decided to help me only out of pity? Sportively believe in her words, however now there is only hope for her. What went to the 18th floor? As she wrote in a note that she quietly left him. As soon as he left the elevator, he was amazed at what he saw. The luxurious penthouse extended from the 18th floor and above. Wow, yes, I am on this floor where all the leadership of the club lives. Only now Chen realized. Looking around, he even saw a pool in which large perches splashed, a wide variety of colors. Young man! In a sharp voice, they brought Chen to his sense, who continued to examine everything around. It seems you were mistaken in the floor, the guy answered sternly in a beautiful white kimono. Pray, how dare you wander in the 18th floor? Look, the legs will wind and throw it away, strictly answered the guy in the kimono. But Dr. Shen invited me, Su Chen answered politely. He must have in mind the mentor of Shen. I wonder what connects them. Maybe this is a student, but he is so weak that he will blow off his feet with a light wind. Okay, I will use this chance at the same time to talk with Shen Yu. Follow me, the guy in a white kimono said strictly, and he went along the long corridors. Like a halo of white energy surrounded this guy when he quietly, confidently moved forward. It seems that he dissected the air every step. Wow, Chen was surprised, carefully following his every step. This person will be cooler than the Iron Wolf, Chen thought. Passing along the corridors of this room, they were stopped by the guards, and they were warned to be more closely. Carefully, opposite you in the walls, auto shot is hidden. Be extremely attentive. Auto shot? Security? Really, Shen Yu is not just a doctor, Chen thought. While they continued to go along the corridors, a guy in a white kimono turned to him. Yes, that's what, he said. My name is Lin Hofei. My style is hunger. What is your direction? What style? He asked. What does it mean? Is there still a division in the style? Chen was surprised. My name is Su Chen. I'm a sparring partner from the first floor. I do not belong to any direction or style. Strange, probably some amateur, Lin Hofei thought. They continued to move around the room. Chen saw the inscription above the entrance. This is the gallery Crystal Moon. Behind the door was heard heavy breathing and sounds of blows. The mentor Shen, I brought to you the guest invited by you. The name of Su Chen. If suddenly it needs to help to do something, then I can also help. Let him come in. Please pass on to the uncle mentor that I will come to him soon. She answered from behind the door. It is lucky for you. The mentor does not give you his attention. Chen knocked on the door. It seems that this guy is not indifferent to Shen Yu, he thought. As soon as he went into a spacious room, he was very surprised because he saw how Dr. Shen trained us diligently, honing his skill. In this form, he saw her for the first time. Although the Shen Yu is not easy, her zeal and perseverance will be worse than that guy from the corridor named Lin Hofei. With dexterous movements of her hands, she continued to work out blows on a wooden training stand. Such a stand can be seen in most films about Chinese martial arts. Training is over. She threw a light towel on her shoulders and pulled out sweat. Hello, Su Chen, she said. I go with that pillar. Go, sit down, she said. And she went in a calm step into the next room. She invited him to a small room where she brewed traditional Chinese tea. I ask you, treat you, she said, and offered him a cup of tea. What a strict face, and dear at the same time. She must be not a very affectionate person, Chen thought. He made only a small sip of tea. He almost spit it out. What a bitter tea, worse than the therapeutic decoction of lynx. Will an ordinary person drink this? Sen Yu continued to drink it as if nothing had happened. It's freshly, it was necessary to put more tea leaves, she said. He put down the tea aside. Do you know who will be your opponent in the duel this time? She asked. Yes, I already know. It will be an Iron Wolf, Chen answered. Yeah, Iron Wolf. A professional from the Death Educational Camp. Their successful graduate, who has gone through the training path and honed skill in the Shaolin external style. That in the attack, that in defense, he is stronger than you, said Shen Yu. Simply put, you can't beat him. she added. With these words, she did not delight Chen in any way. However, it cannot be said that there is no hope. She noticed. I can help you, she answered with confidence. Help me? Shen Yu definitely starts something, Chen thought. But why would it help her? Chen was surprised. Well, what do you want from me? He asked. In fact, nothing special. I want to make a deal with you. I will teach you boxing, and you will help me do one thing, she answered calmly. Can I help you? What is this business? Chen asked. Secret, so right away and told you everything. You first survive in the first duel, and there we'll talk, she answered. And true. If after 3 days the Iron Wolf beats me, then there will be no. Chen noticed. But nevertheless, can I ask why you attach a meaning to such as me? He asked. Because I considered you a talent for martial arts and also appreciated moral qualities. And perhaps most importantly, you are smart. With a blow of 150 kilograms of strength, he laid a frantic dog. And if you throw out all the potential, then with your current force in the Boxer D, there is a chance and to beat the Iron Wolf, she said. How do you know that I have the power of the category D? Chen was surprised. Have you watched me? Chen was indignant. If, by the intensity of your pulse and breathing, I cannot consider anything, what I am for the doctor then? She answered with confidence. The master is a master when he can easily understand the strength of the enemy, she added. Okay, time does not wait. I will show you several tricks right now, she said. I will show you a very old, but at the same time a very effective style, the style of Wing Chun, she said. Any hand-to-hand combat does not do without spending strength and skill. To break a strong muscles of the Iron Wolf, trained in a Shaolin school, you definitely need to learn a break. In blow C to the destructive energy that I will show you now. Her movement was clear and strong. It immediately became clear that she trained a lot of time. She performed a series of exercises and concentrated all her strength in one blow. Having made a lightning punch, a bunch of energy flew right into the trunk of a tree, from which the leaves began to pour. No one is embarrassed by the fact that a tree grows on the 18th floor of this building? Wow, just a swing of a fist, and what a powerful effect. Chen noticed in surprise. And this is called skill, Chen thought with enthusiasm. Eyes do not have time. Too fast, her hands seem to fly in the air. Come on, I will remember the movement of her muscle, so that later there is an opportunity to resume them. What he imagined everything in the smallest details, tried to fix it every step and movement. But why did he see it all? As if she was without clothes, he thought in surprise. Her hair developed as if it moved in one whole stream of energy. Showing this technique again, be very carefully. What is the matter with you? Why is your face red? She was surprised. There is nothing. Yesterday in ginseng moved. Everything is fine, you continue. Tolerate, you cannot show blood from the nose, Chen thought. Then she concentrated and took his side. Chen leaned back a little. He is more attentive, shows only 3 times, she answered strictly. You can't learn these movements, blame yourself. Good. You gain strength from the ground to the lower back, as to the center. The blow is applied with assertiveness, the secondary production of energy during a wave of the hand during a turn in the waist, which is called the energy. Now I show a typical movement again, she added. Look carefully at my belt part, as she called her chest. She took a slow breath and completely concentrated on her movements. It seems Xin Yu finally became normal, Chen thought. Did you remember everything? Do not forget how to train what I taught you. Yes, sure. And tell me the little question where you can throw out the garbage, Chen asked. Judging by his bewildered physiognomy, the destructive energy is too complicated for such an amateur like him. And it was not easy to find a suitable person. It would properly train, and then it will be very suitable for my plan. Let it be like a dead it was not. Come after me. Let's go to my uncle mentor. See if you can get a gift from him. At this time, the mentor played Chinese checkers. Teacher, you lost to me, the guy in a white kimono said with joy. Something I am not in shape today. I lost 4 parties in a row. Only the difference is that the mentor played with blindfolded eyes. Teacher, brother-in-law Lin, this is a sister mentor Shen Yu. May I come in? Lin Hofi heard that Shen Yu came and was about to run to open the door. Hofi, I noticed that you have recently have a wrong tread. You will definitely move away from training, the mentor noticed. Well, quickly in the rack of the rider, and do not get up until it expires for 6 hours, he said sternly. I decided to put the Shaw's boy. The more diluted, the more it is. Uncle mentor, if Shen Yu... Uncle, as we agreed, the plan of the Dragon Sunrise began. You promised one good thing, she said. I have not forgotten. But my girl, I promised to give it only once. Looking at this young man, it seems that he is a weakly. Are you sure you should give it to him? Yes, the appearance of a person, they say, can be deceptive. It's hard to say, can it? She said. How impatient you are. Okay, be your way. In any case, someone needs to be given to someone. But I can only help you once, the mentor said, taking a hidden thing from the locker. Su Chen, go, he said strictly. I will check the skill of this baby, who was chosen by Shen Yu. And at that moment, the mentor threw the secret box towards Chen. He instantly noticed that some object was flying to him. What a harsh force. I can't stand this with my abilities at all. I thought, what? In this instant, his inner voice advised him to relax. This little one is not at all trained in the internal style. Perhaps you should not injure it. The mentor noticed. Chen felt something power disappeared, and he calmly caught a box.
Everything is subject to and obediently exactly as much as you need.
This old man should be a very influential figure. Chen continued to think. Ha! Girl Shen. It is very unconvincing that this guy is able to win the Category C category boxer. Is there any fights? You were mistaken in a person, the mentor said. Uncle, you should not make it difficult for a person's choice. I think he is suitable, but this is enough. Sell you. Uncle Mentor, I leave you, conductedly answered Shen Yu, and he and Chen headed for the exit. The mentor escorted them to them. He continued to think whether Shen Yu made the right choice. As soon as they left the forest felon, and she stayed far behind. Shen Yu was very happy as she managed to do something. Shen Yu, are you all right? Chen asked in surprise. Okay, fine. In the end, an uncle mentor, so I rejoice, she answered cheerfully. Is the contraption in this box very valuable? Chen asked. Not just prices, but in general a rare thing, she answered. The potion which is in this box is called the Pill of the Blood River. It is used to build a root base. Uncle the mentor had only 3 such things. He had already given 2 of them to his students. Therefore, this is the last. Chen examined her with interest. Something recently, I often have to try all sorts of strange things. Little and cozy room Su Chen. He took out the box, opened it, and gently put it on the nightstand. He sits and looks at this unusual berry, whether it is worth using it, and what consequences can be. The drug that is in this box is called the Pill of the Blood River. I wonder who will come up with the name for such things. It is used to build the root base. There were only 3 pills. 2 of them were already given to his students. This is the last, Shang Yu said, to build a root base, and if so, then it is suitable, Chen thought. I beg you, do not invent. To use this pill, whether something who is full of vitality and healthy as a bull can. Your younger sister is very weak with health. It may not stand it, strictly answered Xin Yu. How did you know what I think about? Chen asked in surprise. As if it is not clear what you want. You can say now, my man. I can ask one experienced doctor of Chinese medicine to inspect your sister, but you must first win the competition. Judging by your physique, after you use it, the power of the fist should intensify by several hundred feet, and the rest of the effects will appear when you slowly feel them.
I can't think about anything else!
Chen grabbed his head and tried to stop his thoughts. Since you can't give a sister, then let it be additional help for my competitions. Chen put a pill in his mouth and began to chew it slowly, as it was quite large, something like a soft Chupa Chups. As soon as the pill fell, and it began to dissolve a little, incredible things began to happen. It's so hot, as if the whole body is burning with fire. What he felt, how all the muscles trembled, as if they were doused with a wave of energy. It was not visible, but his fists seemed to burn with fire, radiating light streams of energy. He felt a surge of strength. It feels like the whole body was filled with bright energy. Previously, the Chinese were able to make energy, not only now the Red Bull or burn. The action of the pill still continued to open, and Chen already felt a huge surge of energy. He flew their house with a bullet. The sister at that time spat flowers. She did not even have time to examine him. Her brother burst into the room, or it was just a draft opened the door. He rushed past her with a whirlwind and would go the courtyard. 18, 19, 20. Chen continued to push up in his arms. Brother, what happened to you? Linka asked. 28, 29, 30. Chen continued to push up. In less than a few minutes, Chen already squeezed 300 times. Wow, such a surge of energy and is not at all tired, Chen said excitedly. The persistent feeling that I'm a boxer from class now. Indeed, a great thing is a pill of the bloody river. Link, what are you doing? Why are you dousing me with water? I can catch a cold. This is so that you cool a little, Linka answered calmly, watching Chen rushed around the house. Brother, and you almost ruined these flowers as you quickly run near them. And you are very stinking, added Linka. I understand, but now I'm running to wash. Chen only slapped the door and disappeared into the house. In 3 days, Palace of Martial Arts, Heavenly Warriors. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. You are a beautiful night and a wonderful fight. Greetings in the ring of the Martial Arts Palace, Heavenly Warriors. Having come to the Palace of Martial Arts, Heavenly Warriors today to enjoy the boxing competition, You made a really bold and wise choice. We, in turn, have prepared an excellent girl for you. First of all, I present to your attention the first participant in this fight, an Iron Wolf. The best graduate of the 38th release of the Load Camp, which has passed the selection for competitions from the level, has 8 victories and 0 defeats. He beats fiercely and lightning speed. He is an outstanding and cruel opponent who received the nickname an Iron Wolf carrying a knife in the light. If the Iron Wolf begins to fight seriously, most likely you can't hold back 10 tricks. Will you just put the shadow? Chernish worried about him. Its main weapon is the legs like 2 knives, against which it is impossible to resist. Greet him! The audience was noisy and screamed loudly his name. Wolf, Wolf, Wolf. The Iron Wolf reached the ring, and the excited public continued to chant his name, as is usually the case before the fights. There is no need to talk about the strength of the Iron Wolf. Let's see what kind of person will fight with him. And on the screen showed a photograph of his opponent. This boxer is a sparring partner of the gold medalist of our club, Heavenly Warriors. They say that he is an outstanding newcomer from the company of masters of the fist battle of the Southern School. His name is Su Chen. For 2 years of sparring, he independently mastered the defensive kung fu, and it seems that there is no boxer whom he could not resist. Let's all warmly welcome him with applause. The announcer continued to welcome opponents. Silence reigned in the hall. No one knew the second participant in the fight, which means no one greeted him. But in general, not at all respect. What a useless presenter I am, the announcer in the ring thought. So I thought that I would not take a look at anyone. Oh well, I don't care. Going into the ring, thought Chen. Although a little disappointing that no one meets you.
Come on, Su Chen!
The guy began to shout from the hall to support him. Yes, this is Chernish. This is a real friend. Chen found him a look among the crowd of spectators.
Fighters are invited to the ring. The fight is about to begin.
2 rivals stood face to face. The superiority of the Iron Wolf was obvious, since it was from another weight category and had experience in conducting professional battles. The audience continued to shout out the names of familiar fighters. A rumble of fans spread throughout the stadium. On closed balconies that were well guarded, VIP persons appeared. They also came to look at this duel. A guy in black glasses named Tan Zian was very surprised by such a composition of rivals. The Iron Wolf is tonight. A good sight will be. He said his friend, Hepan. This boxer is always good, especially his legs. He has no equal category, C must bet on him. He said of course the Iron Regiment will win. You, young gentlemen, really know how to choose. True, we have been watching him for 7 or 8 battles, and he never lost. To bet on it is a win-win option. Since the battles have been organized without rules, such as Suan have appeared a lot. They climb not for the sake of earnings, but for PR, which gets better into the fighting state. But in general, there are no real masters among them. Dear Tanzian, how about me to bet with me? Mr. Tang enjoyed the taste of fragrant wine and thought about the opponents of today's battle. How this amateur is annoying, he just to show off in public. The devil does not understand the importance of such fist battles, the gentleman thought there. However, the company of masters of the fist fighting of the Southern School still did not stop fighting at competitions for dominance throughout the network. We must observe if there will be anything interesting for our Northern School. I put on the fact that Su Chen won today, added by Mr. Tan. All his comrades were simply dumbfounded by such a decision. Dear Mr. Tan, can the show-writtenness of the martial arts of the Southern School be compared with the fury and swiftness of the death camp? Death? See how much their physique is different? Can this Sons be an opponent of an Iron Wolf? Ha ha ha. If growth was responsible for victory in battles, why should they then go to the ring? Mr. Tan deftly noticed. Since dear Mr. Tan believes that Su Chen wins, then we will put against 100,000. How do you like this condition? He is trying to be highly moral. Yes, if my father had not demanded to build a good relationship with you, hell would have paid attention to you, Haipen thought. I agree. I accept your bet. At the stadium continued to increase. All viewers expected the beginning of the fight. Iron Wolf against Su Chen. They took place between them. Attention to fighters. During the fight for life and death, the loser is considered to be a violation of the boundaries of the ring, or the loss of the ability to resist. Therefore, I ask you to calculate my strength. Hidden hint of the fact that it is considered a win that to kill an opponent? It is clear why the Iron Wolf wanted to fight me so much. Calm. Shen Yu taught that it was necessary to quietly wait as a virgin. He would attack with lightning speed, like a hare. That day has finally come. If you withstand 3 strokes with your foot, then I will sit your insignificant life. But still, I'll break the bones anyway. He underestimates the enemy, and this must be used well. Then there will definitely be a chance to win. The beginning of the first round is announced.
Fight without restrictions, with a shield or on a shield. The audience continued to make noise loudly.
Opponents have prepared. The audience continued to make noise and raise tension at the stadium. The battle. The referee announced the beginning of the fight. The audience froze in anticipation of this performance. The situation continued to heated. Concentration at height. The Iron Wolf had been waiting for this moment for a very long time. He immediately rushed to the attack. Chen studied the movement of the opponent and tried to understand what tactics he should choose. You, a miserable sparring partner, decided to play with me, just learn tricks? Direct! The Iron Wolf screamed, and he began to attack Chen. After a moment, he made a strong blow with his foot. The audience was delighted with such a spectacle. What was the surprise of the Iron Wolf when the member withstood such a strong attack? Chen focused on his defense, and he continued to be very concentrated and attentive. And then he applies a lightning punch directly into the jaw. The Iron Wolf did not expect this. The audience was very surprised. The Iron Wolf received a blow. No one could understand how this could happen. He made a mistake by carelessness, gave himself to this dairy. For this one blow, I will inflict at least 10 beats to him. The Iron Wolf was indignant. The Iron Wolf began to apply attacks with great speed, but Chen was very cramped and expertly avoided them. Participant Su Chen dodged the quick attack of the Iron Wolf. Not without reason, he is a sparring partner of the champion of Heavenly Warriors. The audience from the VIP in Ao continued to observe how an interesting match unfolds. The Iron Wolf tried to attack. His blows were very fast and clear, but not clear enough to get Chen. He moved even faster, as his life was at stake. Chen made an incredibly fast series of movements, and inflicted another blow right into the jaw of the Iron Wolf. Can't be! The newly made boxer Su Chen and a graded Iron Wolf equal in strength? How can this be? Commented on the referee with surprise. It has just received blows with a foot almost interrupted my hand. If I will have another such blow to me, very bad. A series of blows fell directly on the young fighter. Thanks to his skills and speed, he was able to resist. The indignant Iron Wolf began to lose self-control. What the hell with this kid? Where did he get so much power? There was no chance even to strike with a hand for the entire time of the fight. The Iron Wolf was indignant. Only accurate and proven movements. Great, we continue in the same spirit. Chen recalled every movement of which Shen Yu. At that moment, he breaks through the protection of the Iron Wolf and delivers another blow to his jaw. Chen, curl, come on! The audience continued to scream. Another blow and victory after me, Chen thought with confidence. Din din din. At that moment, the ring bell rang. Why did you stop right at that moment? The audience began to be indignant. The first round of the fight is finished, to stop the fighters and to disperse into their corners of the ring. Damn it, one blow was not enough to lay it. Chen was indignant. Wow, wonderful, they saved me. The Iron Wolf sighed with relief. What the hell, this is not fair. Chernish was indignant. A little more and Chen would have won. He continued. Something was very on time, the gong rang, Sen Yu noticed. Oh, who is here with us? Shen Yu drew attention to the people who were near the ring. Yes, this is Paolo. She immediately recognized him in the crowd. That's who is mating water here. He bribed the judges in advance, and as soon as the Iron Wolf was almost laid, he immediately graduated from the battle. Here is the scoundrel. What will happen next, and how the battle will continue, Shen Yu thought. Now the situation is very tense for you, Su Chen. What will you do next? Chernish asked. The Iron Wolf continued to cough and tried to come to his senses. Iron Wolf, are you all right? His assistant asked. Interestingly, this little one just took me by surprise, a little fascinated only and everything. When did this damn Su Chen manage to become so strong? But no one should know about my internal injury, otherwise there will be no respect from the boss, the Iron Wolf thought. Someone has already difference on how a sparring partner had given a frantic dog, and this greatly spoiled the reputation of our educational camp, Death. The director said, Boss, is they really hollowing? The Iron Wolf was surprised. Certainly. So one of my students last year with an overwhelming advance won everyone from the company of the Masters of the Southern School, won the only place in the prestigious Polar Star tournament. Now she has already entered the measurement of the Polar Star to transmit martial arts. He threw the envelope full of photos on the table. Most likely someone envies this result. The Iron Wolf examined the photos. Su Chen, how did he find himself on the 18th floor of the martial arts palace? He was surprised. Is this guy the man of the company of the Masters of the Southern School? I don't care whose man he is there. The company of Masters of the Southern School or someone else. The glorious name of the educational camp Death must be returned. Yes, boss, I guarantee that this is a snotty guy alive, added an Iron Wolf. The water was noisy and filled the wash basin to the edges. The noise of water returned the Iron Wolf from the memories of this conversation. You can't lose. Looking in the mirror, he thought. At Khan, the reputation of the whole club and his younger brother, who was now in the hospital. He climbed into his pocket. I took out a bubble for banned drugs. These are the same prohibited pills called XH1, which during the battle took a frantic dog. All viewers were waiting for the continuation of the battle. But what waited? We start the second round, announced the referee. The fighters climbed the ring. Su Chen calmly climbed the steps. The Iron Wolf in the first half of the fight received an internal injury. I only need to react more carefully in the second half. And he heard the strong breath of his opponent. The Iron Wolf seemed to reincarnate. His heavy breathing did not even drown out the noise of the audience and fans. Chen noticed that in the behavior of the Iron Wolf, something had changed. Opponents prepared, fight! The second round began, announced the referee. The Iron Wolf, like a mad beast, rushed at his opponent. His eyes burned with fire, and the movement was completely different. Su Chen immediately noticed this, and realized that it was worth moving completely differently. Very quick steps. The Iron Wolf overcame the entire ring, tried to clamp it into a corner. The Iron Wolf struck a very strong blow with his foot. If you remember in the last chapter, from such a blow, the bag of sand was destroyed. Su Chen felt as if he was knocked down by a truck. He managed to put the block, but still the blow was very strong. At this moment, he noticed a very unpleasant thing, like an X-ray picture. His bone cracked. This is not surprising, because after such a strong blow in general, a miracle that his hand remained intact. The Iron Wolf, of course, noticed this. He was able to break through the defense of Chen. He felt an incredible surge of strength and speed. With renewed vigor, he began to strike his feet one after another. We are well aware that this is the result of the action of the prohibited drug. From a strong blow, Chen fell into the corner of the ring. A large number of attacks passed during such a short period. Chernish and other fans saw how hard it was to keep such attacks, but still they continued to support Chen. Chen managed to take a breath a little and concentrate for a new attack. Chen made a series of blows, but the Iron Wolf was able to dodge them. Nooks of the Iron Wolf moved like a murder tool. They moved at high speed, what moved very quickly so that he would not be taken out of these strong blows. The situation is completely back that was in the first round. Began to beat the Iron Wolf in full force, the referee said. The excited crowd has already proposed to repeat the name of the Iron Wolf. Is it really the end for Chen? Say Shang Yu. Come on, Iron Wolf. Come on, act. Don't stop the Iron Wolf. Kill it. The audience continued to scream. The power of his body has become much greater. Most likely he ate the blood pills XH1. Chen noticed. You used the forbidden drug. Are you not afraid that it will check you? Chen asked. Fool. Do you think that I am competing with you in a fist fight? The Iron Wolf quickly asked. This is just one-way reprisal. My task is to kill you here, he added. After these words, the Iron Wolf made a series of blows. Some of them was able to block, but still he missed one blow to the core. Today, I will restore the reputation of the educational camp, death at the cost of your life, the Iron Wolf shouted menacingly. At that moment, Chen was on the ring of the ring. In the last moment, he managed to move to the side from a strong blow with a foot of an Iron Wolf. He still found his strength and got up in order to continue the battle. A little more, and with his strong blow, he would put me into the ring carpet. Chen thought. Iron Wolf, in all seriousness, wants to kill me. This thought made him concentrate and collect the remaining forces. The Iron Wave, as if a wild beast, continued to attack his opponent. His movements became very fast attacks, very strict and painful. Chen tried his best to block his attacks, and if possible to leave them. The flying kicks of the Iron Wolf, Su Chen, is driven into a hopeless position. He no longer has the strength to respond with a blow to a blow. The referee continued to comment on the duel so that the excited audience would not miss a single moment. Chen rather jump out of the ring, because the Iron Wolf will beat you now. In fear of his friend, Chernish screamed. No, this cannot be done, Shen Yu thought. I will never stop and I will not retreat. Chen decided with firmness. Otherwise, there will be no money for the treatment of sister. This was a huge incentive to continue the duel. And moreover, I have an agreement with Shen Yu, Chen thought. At that moment, Chen remembered the training process that Shen showed him. He seemed to move to that training and recalled every movement and her blow. This allowed him to concentrate and betrayed new strength. The Iron Wolf was about to deliver another blow to end once and for all to his opponent. You will never get up again! The Iron Wolf continued to attack. The Iron Wolf delivers a decisive blow with a foot. It seems that the battle will end. He commented on the referee. The audience was at the peak of excitement. From such an incredible fight, everyone shouted and rustled around the hall. I, Su Chen, keep my word, Chen said firmly, and took on the attack of the Iron Wolf. Chen withstood a very strong blow, despite the fact that the Iron Wolf... Look, this little one withstood the frantic wolf, and the audience began to support him. Incredibly, he withstood. Su Chen withstood the jamping sick of the Iron Wolf. He commented on the referee. Su Chen gathered all his strength and began to attack the Iron Wolf. Following his fists, his incredibly fast blow with an elbow flew right into the head of an Iron Wolf. With sharp, accurate movements, Chen continued to block the attacks of the Iron Wolf. In addition, he inflicted a very strong blow to him directly into the chest cage. The Iron Wolf clearly did not like it. Zhuanggun? When did this guy learn him? Shang Yu was surprised. He really has a talent for martial arts. Who would have thought? Looked quite a bit and immediately remembered. Shang Yu was surprised, so he took possession of the skill that Shen Yu taught me. Chen felt a new surge of energy. Chen began to work not only in defense, but also to attack the Iron Wolf. It seems that in the near battle of this museum, the advantage is you need to take a larger distance, the Iron Wolf thought.
Yeah! Now you can't run away from me! Chen shouted, and began to attack with renewed vigor.
He began to recall all the tricks that he had seen before. Explosive power, double energy. He attacked the Iron Wolf like a boxing pair. A blow, another blow. The Iron Wolf could not hide from his incredible blows. The entire ring carpet was then poured with drops of blood. The Iron Wolf realized that its coordination was broken. Bastard! How does he do it? Where does he get so much strength and energy? The Iron Wolf was surprised. The stress in the ring was at the limit. Everyone watched such a stressed duel with great attention. The Iron Wolf continued to attack, but Chen blocked his attacks. In addition, he managed to strike. The eyes of the Iron Wolf burned with fire. His gaze looked like the gaze of a predator who was driven into a corner. Chen's gaze was cold and concentrated. He completely controlled the situation. The Iron Wolf was going to make an unexpected head to knock his opponent outside the ring. I wanted to make me back. Surrendered, Chen deftly noticed. At that moment, he grabbed his head with both hands and squeezed like a vice. Try to get out of this position now. He took a few steps and conducted an incredible combination. This incredible technique is called double flight with a palm bow. The Iron Wolf, like a feather, flew into the air. The Iron Wolf did not control anything. It seemed to be lost in space. He was somewhere between life and death.